Yo, what's good, everybody? I want to thank you for tuning in to another All American Homecoming review. We all know that we have just experienced the series finale of All American Homecoming, and I'm still sad about it. However, I want to thank everybody who has been listening to my reviews, those who have commented and engaged with me. I am greatly appreciative of that. And like I stated in the review for the series finale, if you listen to it, I talked about how I wanted to talk about more things that happened in All American in the series finale and within season 3 of the series. And I want to thank everybody who was sending me questions. Some of these questions came in as the finale was airing, and some of the questions came in today, and I'm so appreciative because I really enjoy talking about All American Homecoming. It was one of my favorite shows, and I'm just not ready to let it go yet. So as long as I'm not ready to let it go, I'm going to continue to make videos about it. And so if you sent me a question via DM, I'm not going to expose your name or anything like that. So that'll just be between me and you if you're the one who sent it. But I want to thank you guys because all of the questions have been very thought-provoking for me. And I just want to say thank you for keeping up with your girl with this. And so if this is your first time coming to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning family member, then you already know what it is and what it always will be. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell somebody to tell somebody if you choose to. If not, just sit back, relax while we get into this thing. Now, I don't know how long these videos are going to be. I'm not going to make them longer than 20 minutes. So each question might just be their own video. So the first question is, do you agree that Simone could have said more when Lando asked her how she felt when she first saw Damon? I thought this was a really great question because this is actually something that I talked about underneath the comments of the series finale video. And honestly, yes, I do agree. And I believe Simone should have said a whole lot more to Lando after he asked that question. And I think what made this particular moment so, I'm going to say, just pausing is because once Lando asked the question, Simone gave this look, and we can all interpret that look to mean what we want it to mean or what we may think it meant. And I know for me, what I stated was, and I want to give a shout out before I get into my my response. I want to give a shout out to Camilla Richard Obier. I am so sorry if I messed up that last part, 4013. I always appreciate when you comment. I love your perspective, and I just really want to thank you for engaging with the All American Homecoming videos. But going back to my response, I believe that Simone had a responsibility to make Lando feel secure in that moment. Because when she gave this look, I said, well, Simone, what is this? What does that look mean? And so for me, I thought it meant a plethora of things. So I'll just give two of the things I believe Simone was thinking. One, I believe that Simone was so sure as to what Lando was going to say to her in that moment that she was a bit taken aback by his response to her, revelation of her feelings for him. He really had reservations, and I believe we have to go back before we go forward. So I have to really deal with the fact, and I'm going to blame the writers with this. One. Okay, now I'm going to let y'all know I'm a little bit dramatic and animated. Okay, I'm not over the top, but it does come out every now and then just to let y'all know. I blame the writers because I think throughout the series, there were certain things that Simone needed to say that she just didn't say. And I think that it was sort of a blemish on her character development, but I believe it was also a character flaw of hers. And sometimes it just is what it is. And so looking at Lando, I know there was some discussion, and I think everybody who I've been engaging with, there was a lot of discussion that Lando should have been secure. And taking what Cam told him, Cam, told him that, you're the man that she's been with all year. You've been that one for her. So, you should be cool. And even though Lando was like, yeah, you right, and maybe he should have found, assurance in that, this is still the man who had to deal with him being rejected. He had to deal with Simone's rejection after he told her that he wanted to be more to her than just a friend with benefits, that he wanted more out of their relationship, and to expose yourself and reveal your heart and then watch the person who you revealed yourself to choose someone else is hurtful. I honestly don't believe that Simone really understood the emotional damage and the emotional hurt that Lando experienced when he wasn't chosen. And for whatever reason, the writers didn't go in that direction, but I believe it needed to happen. And I thought we were going to get a reveal when it was the episode where it was just Simone and Lando, and she purchased, many of his paintings, but she kept one. And she didn't know why that, paintings really spoke to her. And she asked Lando what was his inspiration behind it. And we found out it was the first picture that he took after she chose Damon. And I was like, damn, that brother went through a lot. Lando really did go through a lot. And even for him to be in a position to process his emotions and still be there for Simone in a very genuine way says a lot about who he is as a man. So I can only imagine when he, showed up, when Simone asked him to show up and he sees Simone and Damon talking, I can only imagine what was going through his mind. Am I going to get set up again? Am I getting set up for failure? Is she going to choose Damon again? Am I not even an option? Was I just a holding space? So I can only imagine the things that Lando was thinking in that moment and why he was asking Simone the questions he was asking, or even making the statements that he stated to her, because he's been here before and he wasn't the chosen one. And that's a very hurtful thing. And, it wasn't just, Lando was just trying to have sex with Simone. He really did love the girl. He really did show up, and he always showed up to me in a very genuine way. So when it comes to Simone, I believe that she should have said a whole lot more. When Lando asked her that question, how she felt when she first saw Damon, Simone just should have been honest. And I'm curious as to what it was. Simone should have definitely said, yes, even though it's been a year, I still care about him genuinely. However, any romantic feelings that I may have had for Damon, they are long gone. Like, that was her moment to make Lando feel secure. And sometimes women, we have to do that. It's not always about the man making us feel secure in the relationship and the man always saying the things that make us, sure that he's on the right track. Sometimes we have to be the ones to do that, especially when we've already caused emotional damage to this person. And I don't think Simone really understood that. The only time I think Simone even got a glimpse of how much she hurt Lando was, I believe, in episode 2 of this season, when he really, told her about, or he asked her, why did she choose Damon? And the episode where he talked about the painting and, just how it was hurtful. It was so hurtful. And I sometimes I don't think, even though, the show is centered around Simone has done a lot of things to hurt Lando. And let me just say this, okay? A choice had to be made. So somebody was going to get hurt. It was either going to be Lando or it was going to be Damon. And it wasn't even the fact that Simone made a choice. It's what she did after she made that choice. Because when we come back for season 3, we realize that a whole 15 months have gone by. And she acted as if, from what we thought, she acted as if Lando didn't even exist in her world. Didn't exist. I chose Damon, not you. And so that I don't have to deal with you, I'm just going to pretend like you're the one who needs the space. When it was, I said something, now don't get me wrong, and I'm one of those people who watch the show, and I like everybody on the show. There's not a character that I dislike, so I'm not coming from that place of me not liking someone or I can't stand someone. That's not the case with me. I love all the characters. However, I don't like everything that they do, but I do not dislike any of them. Another reason why I believe Simone made that look and didn't say anything is because I really felt Simone was thinking this is not how this was supposed to go. And she wasn't prepared for that. That's why baby girl said, I had a whole speech planned, but I'm just going to skip to the end. I'm like, yeah, you better do something. You know what I'm saying? You better get to the part where you tell this man you want him, you want us, and I love you, because that speech really don't matter right now, because it doesn't look like Lando is really in the place to receive anything that you may have to say after he saw you with your ex. You know, those were the vibes that I was getting. And I think Simone felt that way too. You know, some people believe that Simone didn't say anything because she still loves Damon. I'm not disagreeing with that. I think Simone definitely loves Damon. However, the dynamic or the magnitude of that love is strictly platonic. And I think everything that Simone did in the series finale showed that she, and it's sad, okay, it's sad, but that she really didn't give two damns about anything romantically as it pertained to Damon. There were no vibes for me. There were no vibes. There was no inklings. There was nothing. However, I believe Simone did miss the mark when it came to making Lando feel as if he was the only choice. There was no choice because he was it. I think she dropped the ball with that personally. And I also give I give all the characters grace for a lot of the things that they do. And I do give Simone grace because at the end of the day, the way I view it, she's 21 years old. There are not many 21-year-olds who are operating with a level of emotional intelligence to know what to do to make someone feel secure. And I'm going to give y'all a personal story of mine. And it kind of ties into another question that was asked. And there has been a lot of, I'm not going to say feuding. There has been a lot of dialogue about what Simone should have done when it came to Damon, how she should have treated him, how she was acting around him and with him. And for me, I'm one of those people that's on the side of, I believe she did what she should have done. I wouldn't have changed anything that Simone did as it pertained to Damon. And I think, you know, living in a perfect world, yes, if we have a friendship and we decide to take that friendship and make it romantic and it doesn't work out, that we're able to go back to the dynamic that we had before we started having sex, that's what happens in a perfect world. When we're dealing with feelings and emotions, that's just not reality. Sadly, go to my story. So I had a friend when I was in college. Now, this is from 20-year-old Allie Nick. I'm 20 years old. I got a homeboy. This is my dude. We talk about everything. We used to sleep in the bed together and never did anything. Like, that's how close we were. And we would talk about our dreams and our aspirations and our future. And at the time, I believe his daughter was like 8 months old. And he just talked about how great of a father he wanted to be and all of these things like that. And so one day, we decided, this was during homecoming, we decided with our fast asses that we were going to have sex. And it should have never happened. Because once that happened, and it happened twice, it happened over the homecoming weekend. Once that happened, we could never go back. And even though we did still chill with each other, and because we had a lot of mutual friends, people could, even for the ones who didn't know that something happened between us, they could tell something happened between us. Because it was just different. It's like you could not go back to that. And sometimes when you decide to take a platonic relationship and make it sexual or make it romantic, you don't know how the dynamic is going to be once you guys decide to end it. And as a 20-year-old young woman, I can honestly tell you, I didn't have forethought. I wasn't thinking, well, damn, Alicia, this may not be the best idea for you and homeboy to do this because this is your friend and it might destroy your dynamic. It might mess up what you guys already have. I wasn't thinking like that. Both of us allowed our curiosity to destroy our dynamic. As again, we were still cool. We were still all of that, but something was different. And that's how I viewed Damon and Simone. I viewed them like, it was said that they were friends, but I don't really believe that. But okay, I'm gonna get into that in a minute. That they were friends. They decided to make their relationship official and romantic. It did not work out. What was she supposed to do in that moment? How was she supposed to treat him? I'm gonna say I don't believe Simone and Damon were even friends, because out of Simone's mouth, Simone told us what? That she fights for her friends. There was nothing that Simone showed in this series finale that displayed to me that she would have fought for Damon in any way. So again, I have to ask the question, are they really friends at this juncture in their life? I don't believe so. I believe that this is someone from her past who once meant a great deal to her, who doesn't anymore. And sadly, that happens. And I was going back and forth with someone in my DMs to say, you know, she was like, well, Simone, she said Simone could have taken 10 minutes out of her day to talk to Damon before Lando showed up. I said, why should she have done that? Why should Simone have done that? What conversation did her and Damon need to have that was so important that, first of all, Simone was trying to go get her man. And as we saw on the episode before the series finale, every time this girl went to tell this boy how she felt, they were interrupted. Every time. And I said, and you want me to believe that Simone was going to allow Damon to stop her from telling Lando how she feel? Oh, no. That was not about to happen. But again, I believe that's the fairy tale. The fairy tale is, yes, Simone is going to take time out of her busy night to talk to Damon and for them to have a conversation. What conversation? There is no conversation that need to be had, in my opinion, between them at this moment in time. If a whole year has went by and we have excluded each other out of our lives, now that I've seen you, I believe her response was just, I gave you a hug. I'm proud of you. I want you to kill it when you get to training camp, when you get to the MLB. I believe she'll be cheering for Damon and all of that good stuff. But I believe that the chapter of Simone and Damon has been signed, sealed, and damn it, delivered. And it's done. I think people wanted it to mean more to her, and it just didn't. Now, we saw that Damon did have residual feelings, and he was, considering telling Simone, how he felt about her. But I believe once he saw Simone and Lando together, because Simone wasn't paying Damon any attention. He was not on her priority list. So I was like, no, she didn't deserve to give Damon no 10 minutes. For what? To talk about what? Some people feel as if, Simone was trying to look out for Lando's feelings. I don't believe Lando had anything to do with it. I believe that Simone was not the bit most interested in Damon. And is it sad? It is. But was it wrong of her? No, not in my opinion. Not in my opinion. But to go back to the original question, yes, Simone missed the mark by telling Lando how she felt about Damon in that moment, or what her feelings were when she first saw him. And I believe it was awkwardness. It was awkwardness. Some people felt like Simone was acting weird. And I'm like, how would you act if you haven't seen an ex in over a year? Y'all have not communicated. You see him, is everything. Maybe some people have the ability to just act like everything is cool. Everybody doesn't walk like that. I believe that Damon's response was legit, and I believe that Simone's response was legit. I wasn't expecting her to do more than she did, and I wasn't expecting him to do more than he did. I would have loved for the writers not to have him pawning over Simone. And I'm gonna just keep it all the way real. I'm gonna keep it all the way real. It amazes me. This is me now. It amazes me how people wanted, Simone to do so much to Damon, and we gonna act like Damon didn't dog Thea out. Why should he get all this credit? Why should he get Simone pouring her heart out to him and being so comforting to him and prioritizing him when he didn't prioritize Thea? Not in the least bit. It was the fact that Damon was hugging Thea while staring into Simone's eyes. I said, look at this bastard. Look at this fine bastard, okay, because he looks good. But why are you hugging this girl looking dreamingly in Simone's direction? I said, get this boy off my screen. Get him off my screen. I'm going to miss them. I'm going to miss all of them. But I just thought it was very interesting hearing everyone's perspective on this particular situation. And please understand, if you don't agree with me, that is perfectly fine. You can let me know that you don't agree with me. I don't take offense to it. Just be respectful, in your disagreements. But, yeah, man. Simone should have said more. And I don't know why the writers did that with her character. Now, was it on brand for Simone? Yes, it was on brand for Simone. I just wish that we could have seen a little bit of growth and elevation in that way, because we did see growth with the character of Simone in this episode. However, I would have loved to see her exhibit growth in her romantic dealings, but we didn't get a chance to see that. So, as always, I want to thank you guys for listening. And until next time, I will holler at y'all later, and y'all be safe out there.